The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
With no real at least better bars than Jane. Whoo, boy. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Power Rangers Dino Fury episode review. This one is also coming out a little bit late. I am, for the most part, feeling better. However, work went into overdrive a little bit with spring break week, so I haven't really been available. We have 5 Rangers, but only 4 of them have Zords. We know that someone new should be just around the corner, so we've got to get Javi a Zord stat. Let's take a look at the 7th episode of Dino Fury, Stego Search.
Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, and make sure you got your notifications set up by hitting that little bell icon.
Right you. What he said was, you can consider checking us out on Patreon or Coffee at Orange Ranger Videos.
Solon has called the Rangers to the base because that Zord finding device she started working on a few episodes ago is now ready. Javi's not there. Is he saying that likely means he's got a new musical instrument? Or maybe it's that famed Garcia family indigestion. Solon activates the device, locating their 4 Zords, but not the Stegozord. Also, the T-Rex, Tricera, and Ankylozords all seem to be located in the same spot. I guess that mountain we always see them burst out of. But the Saber-Tooth Tiger Zord is located a little further off. It seems to be more where they were first found versus any kind of shared Zord bay. Izzy tries to push the task of telling Javi that he doesn't get a Zord onto Zato. However, Solon says the Zord cannot be detected if it is dormant, so all they have to do is locate the Zord some other way and then activate it somehow. Speaking of Javi and keys, we see him in the forest, and indeed he does have a brand new musical instrument. That Keytar he's been saving up for. This next part. Okay. Hoo boy. So, Javi takes out the Keytar and starts playing around with it, honestly not even entirely sure how it works. He just starts mashing on keys, and a crowd is drawn around him, entranced by his amazing musical stylings. Then Jane and J-Borg walk up.
Are you sure? Okay.
The two are looking for a story for Buzz Blast, and seeing the crowd, they head on over. When Javi says anyone can make music, J-Borg pipes in that she is programmed to sing, and then unleashes some annoyingly shrill opera. Then Jane starts rapping, and okay, her lines were almost clever, but overall, hit it, Robot Chicken Thor.
This isn't funny!
Warden Garcia comes up, breaking up the jam session to my everlasting delight. He says it's nesting season for the birds and they're getting disturbed. Seeing as they live in a park that people attend and likely play loud music in on a regular basis, I kinda doubt that. Garcia and his son argue about how much money Javi spent on the Keytar, especially when the warden finds out that it was $900. And as I've seen said on Twitter, Javi should be pretty upset about that too. There are Keytars that cost even more than that, but his looked pretty basic, and you can get a basic level Keytar for around $200. Warden Garcia takes the Keytar away since Javi can't settle on one musical instrument, saying he's going to return it and get Javi's money back. Javi heads to Dino Henge, and the Rangers say they had good news for him. His Zord momentarily activated and was detected, but then the signal disappeared. Javi really doesn't care, still upset about the Keytar, but telling the other Rangers he's fine and leaving. Izzy volunteers to go talk to him. Quick scene with the villains that really wasn't all that bad. Boomtower is upset that Void Knight won't come out of that secret room that they have. Boomtower says they were built to have more power than they currently do, so they're going to take more power, removing one of the Sporix, and remember, these are now level 2 Sporix, from the jukebox. Izzy finds Javi sitting on a park bench moping. She asks what's wrong, and he starts to tell her, but then Boomtower and Mucus beam in with some henchmen. The two morph and call the other Rangers to come out to the punch party. The other Rangers show up, and they blitz Boomtower with some boost keys, but to no effect. Boomtower then unleashes a powerful blast, with Javi stepping in front of Izzy, but then being back next to Izzy in the next shot. The blast knocks everyone back and demorphs red, pink, and blue. Javi uses the shield key to block the beam, which is now a beam when before it was a blast, and tells Izzy to attack from the side. However, Boomtower sees her and slashes, both demorphing and injuring her. Zato tells Javi to get her out of there. Boomtower is about to attack again when Void Knight shows up, realizing what Boomtower had done pretty quickly. They haul the two generals off, telling the henchmen to take care of the Rangers. We get an unmorphed fight scene here with the main three, and I really like it for 2 reasons. Number 1, it showcases a sense of progression, because I think this is the first time that the Rangers have handled the henchmen without morphing. 2, I like how it's structured within the episode. Normally, we get an unmorphed fight with grunts before a monster fight. In this case, it's after, and it just lends a little bit more weight to it. Of course, the episode immediately spends some of that weight when Amelia asks where Javi and Izzy are.
A fish with a 6-second memory span.
Zato told Javi to get Izzy out of there, and you were literally standing right next to him when he said that. Anyway, Javi gets Izzy somewhere safe, and by the power of plot convenience, their dad shows up. Javi explains that a monster attacked, but the Black Power Ranger saved them. Nice. But he tried to protect Izzy, but Izzy got hurt anyway. His dad is pretty upset about this since Javi seems to be fine, but Izzy is the one that's injured, saying clearly he didn't try hard enough. Back at the base, Solon keeps looking for the Stegozord, confused about why it appeared momentarily. As for me, I'm confused about the fact that if it did appear momentarily, why the computer wasn't able to detect its location right away. Amelia says if they find the Stegozord, that'll make Javi feel better. Yeah, that's probably the most important reason to find the Stegozord. Forget about saving the world and fighting against monsters with a little extra firepower. We need Javi to stop being so emo. Hearing that Javi is upset reminds Solon that she saw a viral video. Of course, Javi in the forest playing his Keytar. At first, I almost got upset because you can see Jane in the shot, meaning this is not her video, but actually she had stopped recording by this point anyway, so clearly this was filmed by someone else. And, of course, the video includes Warden Garcia taking away the Keytar to establish that in the plot so the Rangers know what's going on. So, instead of just posting a fun little Keytar genius draws a crowd in the park video, BuzzBlast decided to go all TMZ and post a Keytar Prodigies jam session interrupted by Warden Buzzkill kind of thing.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
So, I caught on to this plot point basically the moment it happened, but I do realize the show is primarily written for kids that are a good 30 years younger than I am, so now everyone else gets to catch up. Ollie realizes that the Zord activated at exactly the same time the video was recorded. Music soothes the savage beast, but apparently it wakes the sleeping Stegosaurus. I love when the writers of a show like this specifically include a line that seems pointed right at reviewers, or at the very least, nitpickers. Javi asks how music could possibly wake his Zord, and before he even finishes the question, Solon says, "Stop questioning it and just play."
Stop questioning it and play, my boy, play!
That's one of those lines where all I can do is just laugh and shake my head. It's like a wizard did it. It's magic, so we don't have to explain it. If you have to tell a character in your story to stop questioning something, you're also telling your audience to stop questioning something. I'm sorry, it is a lazy cop-out to actually explaining why something in your story is happening. Now, they may still explain this, the episode's not over yet. I'm just saying. So Javi starts playing a little whistle flute thing he has, and apparently the music amplifies his ranger energy, and no, that does not count as an explanation, and the Zord activates. One thing I will give them credit for is that the Zord Finder apparently takes a second to pin down the Zord's exact location, which is why it didn't find it the first time. The Zord is located in Greenlee Woods. The Rangers are all about to go look for Javi's Zord when they get a call on the Ranger hotline that a robot is attacking the city. That's gotta be Boomtower. But seriously, Boomtower doesn't really look like a robot. If I saw Boomtower attacking a city, I'd say that a monster was attacking. If I saw Boomtower attacking Pine Grove, I'd say that a Sporix beast was attacking. Anyway, they send Javi to go find his Zord alone while the rest of them deal with that. Izzy is still out of commission with a nasty case of not being in the Sentai footage, so Red, Pink, and Blue arrive and start looking for Boomtower, who arrives shortly thereafter and grows. Which I'm going to chalk up to having a Sporix inside. Haven't used that one in a long time. Since otherwise, Boomtower is a robot, and how does a robot just grow?
Stop questioning it and play, my boy!
Right? Sorry, I forgot. Amelia asks how they could possibly beat a giant Boomtower. Can someone get her a Java Monster? She seems kind of off her game today. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, but maybe you could try using your giant robot dinosaurs. Boomtower says they can't because Void Knight let them keep the Sporix in order to destroy the Rangers. They form the Dino Fury Megazord. You know, it actually occurs to me that the base formation of the Dino Fury Megazord doesn't seem to have a formation name. Even the Dino Charge Megazord's base formation was called Tristego Formation. The naming convention this time around seems to be the weapon of the Zord that's in the driver's seat, the one whose key forms the head of the Megazord. So I guess the base formation of the Dino Fury Megazord would be called Champion Formation?
Get on with it!
You know what? That's fair. It's a new Zord episode, so I'll let you figure out how they're doing without it. Okay, for those not following along. Meanwhile, Javi is wandering in the woods playing his little flute a la Merrick from Wild Force. Sure enough, he finds the spot and the Stegozord pops right up out of the ground looking for a treat.
Stop questioning it and play, my boy!
The Rangers and the Megazord are on the ropes when Stego fires a salvo of spikes to save them. That was kind of alliterative, isn't it? Zato asks Javi how he likes his new Zord. Javi says he gives it a 10 out of 10 for spikiness. Stop reviewing your show, Rangers. That's my job. Doesn't have any spikes on the feet. I give it an 8 out of 10 for spikiness. Javi combines his Zord with the others, and fitting the naming scheme, this is the Dino Fury Megazord Spike Formation. As a weapon, the Megazord uses these I really have no idea what those things are. They look kind of like tiny spiked hammers. You could maybe call them maces.
Stop questioning it and play, my boy!
Anyway, of course, from here, the fight doesn't last very long. The Rangers pushing Boomtower around and then blowing them up. They shrink back down because main character shields, with Mucus coming to pick them up. The Rangers intelligently go to finish the job, but the two generals retreat. Javi says he has to go check on Izzy, and the Rangers all agree to meet back at Buzz Blast. They do, with Izzy's arm in a brace, but otherwise okay. Javi issues the standard Saban Brands apology for not letting the Rangers know what was bothering him, even though that had absolutely no impact on the plot. And he gets rewarded for his misdeeds, as Zato, Amelia, and Ollie chipped in to replace the Keytar, meaning that since I'm assuming his dad did go and return the one that he bought, and at the very least put that money into some kind of savings account or college fund for Javi, he gets this one for free. But I'm still kind of confused because as far as we know, Amelia is the only one of those three who has a job. Zato definitely doesn't, so...
Stop questioning it and play, my boy!
Javi starts another jam session in his workplace where people are presumably working. He's actually pretty bad about doing that. And everyone gathers around to enjoy and dance. Jane teaches J-Borg how to dance, and this was actually a very cute and kind of funny ending. Until J-Borg spun around so fast that she drilled through the floor and struck a water line, surely severely damaging both her systems as well as the building. So of course, everyone ends the episode laughing. Just balance the scales. Episode 7, Stego Search. Pros, good emotional performance from Javi, the Rangers grow closer like a family, and Boom Tower acting on its own. Cons, 2 barely connected plots didn't really sync up, too much time wasted on the subplot, and music for the Stegozord is not explained. Both of the Garcia Zord episodes swing and miss. This is a little better than Izzy telling off a girl with a developmental disability, so Stego Search gets 2 scales out of 5. Reviewing this one a little later thanks to work, as I mentioned at the beginning, so I got to see reactions to it on Twitter. I tend to avoid the formal video reviews until I've at least written my script. And I saw the people going, wow! Dino Fury is 7 for 7. Another fantastic episode. Sorry folks, I'm not with you there. This show is not perfect and this is another example of it. Music wakes up the Stegozord because of, literally...
Stop questioning it and play, my boy!
Stop questioning it and just accept it. But Sean, this is a show that's written for little kids. Exactly! That's why Solon was going on and on at the beginning of the episode about energy signatures and coordinates and all those other multi-syllable words that all those 4-year-olds are spelling perfectly in kindergarten. I maintain, no matter what's said, that Power Rangers is written for a mixed age audience. So, Zord on this one is definitely going to get me some comments. I feel a little insulted when the writers of the show tell me via one of their characters to just not question one of their plot points.
John's getting upset!
A Zord being summoned or controlled by music, of course, is not new to Power Rangers. Tommy summoned the Dragon Zord via a dagger flute on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And, as I mentioned, Merrick, as well as Princess Shayla, had to use music to mollify the Deer Zord to get it to join the fight. The Deer Zord was established to be sentient, and loved that song for a long time as they established in the dialogue. The Dragon Zord isn't so much explained, but it's clearly demonstrated that music controls the Zord.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Here, to just be told to not question it at all, I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm getting angrier and angrier about this as I go on, but if your show is indeed written for little kids, do not tell them to not ask questions. That's how they learn about the world around them. It might be semantics, but at the very least, change the line to, I can't explain it right now, but it's the only theory we have, so please just try it.
Okay, dude, calm down. Take a chill pill.
I've said my piece. This wasn't a terrible episode by any means, but the two plots feel forced together, making one Zord do something that none of the other Zords do for no real reason. You are free to like this episode. I did not. Maybe I'll like the 8th episode better, and I sure hope so, because it's the one that leads us into the dreaded hiatus. So let's take a peek at the 8th episode, Unexpected Guest. A familiar face arrives on Earth, and Zato dismisses his quest as a distraction. After he saves the Rangers from a powerful Sporix beast, Zato realizes an important lesson. I'm not really sure who this familiar face is, but if they saved the Rangers, sounds like they showed up just in the nick of time. That is going to wrap up another Power Rangers Dino Fury episode review. Thank you, heroes, so much as always for watching. Now that the video's done, you can let me know what you thought of this episode, as well as my review of it, down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button to let me know that you enjoyed my video. And if you like the look of my channel, feel free to check out my Teespring store for shirts, mugs, masks, etc., etc. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. She activates it and locates their 4 Zords, but not the Stegozord. Shoot. And a crowd is drawn around him, enhanced. Boom Tower says they can't, since Void Knight let them keep the Sporix, so... What? Ow. There's a bird out there. Amelia asks how they can possibly beat a giant boom tower. Even the Dino Charge Megazord had a formation name. The Rangers in the Megazord are on the ropes when Javi does something. The Rangers intelligently try to and Boom Tower acting on his own. Its own. But the two plots do feel forced together, making one Zord, yeah. This wasn't a terrible episode by any means, but two plots feel forced together.